Thank you for listening to Right Jokes, Wrong Times. Today I was joined by Joe Legerrette. You can follow him on Instagram at Joe Legerrette. We started the podcast by talking about the echo in his room. How's that bathroom treating you?
This is like the emptiest room. I was gonna say I have a mic in, but I can unplug it and see if that's better for you.
No, I can hear you just fine, so.
Okay, let's see.
I actually record these in my closet, man. For whatever reason, dude, it's fucking comfortable as hell in my closet. I set up like a little desk, and I came up here, and usually it takes a little bit. So I started bringing candies with me, so I'll just sit here and eat candies until this shit happens. And right when this shit went off, I just tried a white chocolate Snickers, dude, because I'm not a chocolate guy. You like chocolate?
I fucking love chocolate, bro. I'm almond Snickers all day though.
Okay, well, get out of here with that Kelsey Grammer type shit. Like that's
Okay, bro, because got a peanut allergy, bro. I gotta fucking make up for it somehow.
Oh, you like sneak them on the side? She could tell when she's all puffy. She's like, "You were peanuts, weren't you?"
She's like, "What the fuck? Where's my EpiPen at, dude?"
Dude, it was weird. The Snickers looked like one of those Slim Fast bars because it was like white chocolate. It was kind of weird, man.
Those fucking protein healthy ones or whatever.
Yeah, dude. People all the time, they're like, "Dude, you don't like chocolate? That sucks." And I'm like, "No, actually, it works out great. I don't like it. Everybody gives me chocolate, and I just turn around and give it straight to Ashley. So, like, she fucking loves me. We got a good setup. I'm just shoveling all the chocolate I get her way.
That's perfect.
Yeah, dude, it's the best shit ever.
That is, man. How you been, bro? You all right, man? How's everything?
Well, I mean, besides there being a global pandemic, I'm doing pretty damn good. Besides, like, tons of people dying, you know?
Dude, it's bad. But see, out there, things are like somewhat still open, right? Like, you guys are still like doing the Friday night shows and shows like around town and stuff, right?
I mean, what do you mean still open? Because that would imply that we kind of shut down.
Well, I'm saying like, out here, nothing's open. Like, there's no comedy clubs open. So everything's fucking like underground. You know what I mean? To where like, basically like LOL's open, Jokesters, Tiger, like all those spots are still open.
Yeah. What's it like out there? Is there like a prohibition type scene going on?
And in a sense, I guess you could say that, but it's like there's shows going on literally, which is like kind of dope, but it's like under the moon, fucking comedy at the beach, you know? And it's like, It's outside and it's kind of weird, bro. But honestly, I haven't been on stage since I left San Antonio, dude. The only thing I've had is writing.
God damn.
Because like I said, it's, like going from San Antonio to come here, the easiest way would be to fucking get into the clubs and just go to the open mic, obviously.
Yeah.
And then, try and establish yourself and blah, 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 book gigs and, go about it that way. But because it's all underground, dude, it's like, it's all the guys who know each other out here already. And then I pop up and I'm like, hey, any fucking stage time when it's already scarce. And they're just like, so I've been trying to network and shit, but it's just like, it's tough, man. So writing's just been kind of like the focus.
The only thing I could think when you said a show at the beach is if the host came up and was like, all right, next up, we got Joe Legerrette, and you just come boogie boarding in with the next wave and start your set. You just like swing in.
That would be the best. Water.
That would be the best fucking set ever. You do that and then bomb. That would suck. First joke, just best entrance ever. First joke, just bomb.
Fucking sand on your balls, huh? Like,
you know what I would do? I would mess up the wording immediately. I'd be like, the sand on your shit. Damn it. Try and boogie board out, come back. Dude, I'm excited to talk to you today, man.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm happy we're doing this.
I asked you to think about a joke of yours that you have that works on stage. What do you have for me?
I was trying to pick a few because, I'm so fucking hilarious, Brendan. It was
obviously
hard.
Yeah, you couldn't whittle it down.
But no, so the joke that's always worked for me, and it was nice because it was one of those jokes where it was kind of funny, it got funnier, and then it became hilarious. I call it USAA/Google now that I'm back home.
Yeah.
Really, the way the joke goes, my style I've found is kind of anecdotal.
Right.
Short story. I don't do too many long stories, but like some like short stories, basically. That's how I do my jokes. And the way this one goes as I go, I used to have a job at USAA inside at the Chick-fil-A.
Oh, shit. Wait, inside at the Chick-fil-A? That's like working at the McDonald's in a Walmart.
Exactly.
It's the inception of businesses.
Right. And now that I'm back in San Diego, everyone, like, if I go USAA, they're like, okay, who gives a shit? Because USAA out there in San Antonio, everyone knows about it. But if I say Google, everyone kind of registers with that. So I kind of changed it that way. But I like the beginning of that joke because it sounds like I have this fancy job, but in reality, I'm like, yeah, I work in the cafe cafeteria at the fancy place.
Right.
And then I go on to say, like, I realized that they hire a lot of Indian people. And I was wondering as to why. So I got the perfect opportunity. And this older black guy walks through the line. And I was like, AOG, like, why does USA hire so many Indian people? And the motherfucker looked behind him and he looks back at me and he was like, motherfucker, I am also Indian. So that's the joke in its entirety. And, that's been a joke for me that like at a show has killed. And then at an open mic, when it's those tough crowds and there's fucking 6 people there, like I get at least a majority people to laugh. And it's probably become one of my favorite jokes.
Nice.
But that one's always worked.
Well, let me ask you, because I'm terrible with coming up whole cloth. Did that actually happen, or is that something that you came up with?
Whole cloth? What do you what?
I think that's the saying. Like, if you come up with something whole cloth, right? It's like you're coming up with 100% of the story. Now I'm starting to doubt myself. God damn it! Don't question me once.
I don't know, dude. I just guess you learn something new every day. But so that did actually happen where I had like basically did this joke stem from something that happened?
Right.
Yes, it did. And the short answer is yes, it did. But the way it happened was I didn't really work at the Chick-fil-A. I just worked at the food service company.
Yeah.
The company is called Sodexo for USAA. And we were at one of their like downtown campuses, and we're like fixing this coffee machine. And you know how it is when you do stand-up, you feel like amazing. And then you go to your day job and you're like, I wish there were more punchlines around this fucking place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so anyways, me and like my partner, we're fixing this coffee machine and this dude came up and he was like, oh, how much longer? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, it should be a minute. Da, 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 da. And I'm talking to this dude like he's a brother, like he's a black dude or whatever, and I'm like, oh yeah, like it should be a minute, like blah, blah, blah. And then I realized, oh, fuck, this guy is Indian. I was like, that's funny to me because I legitimately think this guy's black, but in reality, he's an Indian dude. And then the joke I go, okay, that's a good idea. The irony in that. And then I go, well, shit, there's been a lot of times in my life where I've seen an Indian person who looks black, complected, younger Indian men who kind of like have the same style as black. So the joke, it did stem from reality. And then I was able to turn it into what it is on stage now.
That makes me think of basically the closest I've had to that was when I was in like 7th grade. I used to always get in trouble at school, man. So I'm sitting in the office and one of the ladies was sitting there and it was like one of the rare times in my life. I think I was in there because I didn't feel good. So I actually was like in there and I wasn't in trouble.
Right.
So I like walk up and I saw she was pregnant and I was like, oh, how far along are you? And she's like, what? And I was like, how far along are you? And she was like, I'm not pregnant. And I was like, oh shit. Like I was actually trying to, that was the day I was like, oh, okay. That's why they say you don't like ask women. I was like, okay. Fucking idiot.
Have you been like uncomfortable asking women? Like to this day, will you not ask somebody? Because I've experienced that same thing at work now where like, I'm like, is this chick pregnant? Like, I don't want to ask and be like, oh, congrats. And she's like, no, I'm just fucking out of shape.
To be honest, I can't even remember the last time that I thought that, where I was like, I think they're pregnant or fat. I can't even remember the last time I thought that, but that first time was so traumatic that like never again. Yeah, I will. That's a question that is just that I have PTSD flashbacks anytime I like would even think of asking that question.
That's bad, dude. I mean, it's bad funny, but that's hilarious. I wish I could have seen that, dude. That's
Well, dude, I asked you to think about a joke of yours that you have that didn't work on stage. So what do you have for me there, man?
So for that one, again, like another type of like anecdotal type of joke. And it was this bit I was trying to do where it was basically this bit where I was telling people about my experience when I went to NASA out in Houston.
Right.
And this bit, I wrote it in a way where like, I was like, I'm going to take the audience for a ride and an experience on this one. And the joke was just too long. Its structure was kind of all over the place. So, I'm a little lost in the joke. Therefore, the audience is fucking lost in the joke. And then what else is it? It's like, I think it was one of those things that like, it was interesting to me, but I couldn't convey it in a way that was funny enough to be interesting to audiences. It was probably, it started off as like a 5 minute thing. It went down to like two. And even within that two, there was probably like two solid laps. So you figure there's two solid laps every, 60 seconds. That's not what we're going for. And that joke was just one of those that it's like, damn, because I took the time to write it, and I tried it and tried it and tried it, and I never got it to work.
You mean to tell me you wrote a NASA joke that exploded and burned on stage and was not interesting and it wasn't the perfect NASA joke? That seems like the exact thing NASA is known for, man.
Are you saying that like the fact that this joke bombs
Yeah,
is
and that you
hilarious?
were boring everybody on stage. That sounds fucking perfectly on brand for NASA, bro.
Oh, dude, I mean, thank you, because now you're giving me a new angle for it, and I'll probably go rewrite it now, dude. But
The first time I tried a Mormonism joke that didn't work, I was
yeah,
like, oh yeah, didn't I go on a mission and like go to people's doorsteps and they didn't want to hear about this shit? Why am I trying this right now? I'm just doing
yeah,
it in a place where people can't shut the door on me. You know what I mean?
yeah, dude. But yeah, I don't know, man. It was one of those that was just like, I was like, this is a great, if people have never been to NASA, I'll be able to explain it to them and they'll find it funny. And the shit just never worked. Like there was one part that got like a solid laugh and another part that just like it was whatever. But overall, if I tried this joke, I was like, okay, I'm losing them.
So
I'm losing them.
I'm kind of an idiot. I asked you after the first segment about if that was something that actually happened after you fucking told me you're an anecdotal comic. So, being an anecdotal comic, do you feel like when you're walking around just going through life, do you have like those moments kind of hit you? Like those funny moments, I should say? Do they hit you in the moment that they're funny? Or is it more later when you're looking back, like writing about your experience?
It's more in that moment that I find something funny.
Yeah.
Sometimes something will happen and then an idea will come of it later. But for example, so I was at the dog park earlier today, and this lady asked me, "Oh, what kind of dog do you have?" And blah blah. I got an Australian Shepherd.
You were like, none. I just like to come see the dogs, man.
Yeah, yeah. No, I don't. I just I'm here like a creep.
I haven't decided yet.
But she's asking me, in regards to your question, bro, like it always comes to me in the moment because or most of the time it comes to me in the moment. She's just going, "That's a beautiful dog." And I go, "Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, they're great dogs and we're happy to have them." And I was like, "Oh, that's funny," because people will say, "Oh, you have a beautiful dog," and then the dog owner will always go, "Thank you," and take so much pride in it, like they birthed it themselves, and like it's their own child. So
That being said, like I've had to clean shit off of my dog's ass and clean its like anal glands and shit. So I feel like I could take a little bit of credit. This is a team win.
oh yeah, definitely. It's
I feel like the offensive line of my dog's life. Like when you score a touchdown, I get to spike it.
it's a perfect analogy. They get all the shine and glory. They love us, but out in the public, everyone just gives them the attention, bro. That's such the perfect analogy.
Yeah, man. Well, dude, I also asked you to think about something that you're working on now. So what do you have for me there?
So for that one, this is kind of one of those ideas that I started with in like when I first started on stage, but now I feel like I'm able to actually make it funnier.
Right.
And it's not finished, but like you said, we're currently working on this one. And that one is that like basically the title of the bit is how rap music will ruin your life.
Get the fuck out of here.
No, dude, it will, right? Because the whole theory behind it is like the only time I can rap along or sing along to rap music is when I get paid. And now, mind you, I'm talking about like today's, Migos, like these mumble rap type guys. You know what I
Right.
mean? And so the whole idea is like, on payday, I feel confident, I got money, I got, I feel like I got bitches on my dick, I could smoke the whole ounce, blah, blah, blah. I feel loaded up. But then when I don't have money, it's like, God damn, it makes me insecure. I listen to a YG song. I come home and I'm like, babe, are you fucking YG? It's like they got 10 bitches all sucking their dick. And I'm like, oh, well, I got one who barely does it and I have to push her into doing it,
Jesus.
so that's like the whole idea of the bit basically is talking about how like rap music is very relatable on payday, but after that it raises my anxiety and messes with my psyche overall.
So
So that's the new the bit that I'm working
Dude,
on right now.
I've been swinging back into rap in a huge way, man. And I got to tell you, from the outside looking in, I used to hate the like throwing around money aspect of rap, right? And now that I like listen to the actual lyrics, a lot of it is like they're throwing around money because it's like, fuck you, I made it in a system that isn't created for me, right? Like I have all this money, I can fucking blow it on whatever I want. And I
Right.
actually fucking love that. Almost every message I've heard is like, I built this from the ground up. Go fuck yourself. I'm going to make it rain. And I'm like, yes, I love that.
Yes.
But when you talk about being crazy relatable, what I've noticed is, dude, I've been listening to so many songs. I love sharing like motivational quotes from songs. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
many
Yeah.
motivational quotes now have the N word in them. And I'm like, I can't share that quote, man. God damn it. Or I could like put the like little ellipses if I, you know what I mean? I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
So many motivational quotes in my life now have the N word in them.
Okay, you got to do the NIG star
Shit, no,
star fucking
I can't
star
even.
star.
Just, dude, you just got to walk away at that point. Like my mustache, I just got to be like, all right, I can't. That you just can't share that motivational quote, man. It's not for you to share.
Bro. But you're right though. There is motivation in rap, and don't get me wrong. The reason why I want to write on this is because I love rap music, but it is, thinking in the spirit of comic levity. You know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
okay, like you listen to these lyrics and you're like, what the fuck? You're like, what did he say? What, like, wait.
Dude.
Does that make sense? Oh, like, you know how like they always glorify like the women, the money, the drugs, the partying and shit. And one of the ideas I had was like, oh, like, well, why do they only tell us about the highlights and not the lowlights?
Right.
Like, okay, maybe you did smoke an ounce today, but also how long did you sleep for? You know, you're taking 6 Percocets to fucking get fucked up. When are you going to get into rehab, my guy? You know what I mean? Things like that. So
I heard you on that cocaine. I heard cocaine has nice shits.
yeah.
You know?
But yeah, man. So that's the bit I'm working on right now. And again, I love the rap music, but I think it's funny when you listen to some of these lyrics, especially with the mumble rappers. It's just like, what? Goddamn! Like, why? How is this even being produced right now? So
Yeah. Meanwhile, people argue about "Baby, It's Cold Outside." It's like incredible.
For real. I honestly, that was one Christmas song I like never really listened to growing up. And it wasn't until like 2 years ago that they were like, yeah, that's like about a guy trying to get an underage. That's what it is, right, bro? It's like some guy trying to get an underage girl to like stay at his house or something.
Okay, Jesus, this is gonna test my knowledge. I didn't know the underage aspect, but I just thought it was like date rapey vibe.
Yeah. No. That's basically what I heard from it too.
Yeah, Jesus, I didn't know the underage. It's like, do I listen to it to catch that now, or do I just let that slide? I'll just take your word for it, I guess.
I want to feel jolly, but I don't want to feel guilty though. Goddamn, motherfucker.
Jesus. Well, dude, thank you so much for talking with me today, man. I really appreciate you doing this with me.
Hey, Brandon, bro, this was fun, man. I appreciate you reaching out, man. It's fun to talk comedy.